Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something, and I need you to really hear me, not just listen. Feel it. If a man truly loves you, you will not spend your nights confused, crying, questioning your worth, or wondering where you stand in his life. Love does not leave you in darkness. Love is clear. Real love brings clarity, not confusion. And that's something people often learn the hard way. When someone truly cares about you, their actions, words, and intentions align in a way that leaves little room for doubt. You don't find yourself overanalyzing every message or questioning what they meant by something they said. There is a natural sense of understanding that develops because they are not trying to hide how they feel. They are not sending mixed signals or leaving you guessing about your place in their life. Instead, they communicate in a way that feels direct, honest, and reassuring. Confusion usually enters the picture when someone is unsure about you or unwilling to fully invest in the relationship. It shows up in inconsistency, in broken promises, in words that don't match actions. One day they make you feel special, and the next day they act distant. And that emotional roller coaster keeps you stuck trying to figure things out. But real love doesn't operate like that. It doesn't create anxiety or make you question your worth. It doesn't leave you wondering if you're asking for too much when all you want is basic respect and attention. When a man is serious about you, he removes doubt to his behavior. He makes his intentions clear without needing to be asked repeatedly. You won't have to chase him for clarity because he offers it freely. He understands that your peace of mind matters, and he doesn't play games with your emotions. His consistency builds trust, and that trust eliminates confusion over time. People sometimes mistake intensity or unpredictability for passion, but that kind of dynamic often leads to emotional exhaustion rather than fulfillment. Real love is not about keeping you on edge. It's about making you feel secure. It's calm, stable, and dependable. It allows you to relax into the relationship instead of constantly questioning where you stand. If you constantly feel confused, it's not because love is complicated. It's because the situation is unclear, and unclear situations are often a sign that the other person is not fully committed. Clarity comes naturally when someone knows they want you and isn't afraid to show it consistently through both their words and their actions. Consistency is the true proof of love because words can be spoken easily, but consistent actions require intention, effort, and genuine care. Anyone can say, "I miss you," or "I care about you" in a moment of emotion, but not everyone can show up for you day after day in a way that makes you feel secure and valued. Love is not proven in one grand gesture or a few good days. It is revealed in the pattern of behavior that repeats over time. When someone truly loves you, they don't disappear when things get inconvenient. They don't change their energy depending on their mood or only give you attention when it suits them. Their presence in your life feels stable. You don't have to question if they call, if they show up, or if they'll show up, or if they treat you right today. That stability is what builds trust, and trust is what makes a relationship feel safe. Inconsistency, on the other hand, creates doubt. It makes you question everything, not because you are insecure, but because their behavior is unpredictable. One day they are fully present, making you feel important, and the next day they pull away without explanation. That shift forces you into a position where you start overthinking, trying to understand what changed, trying to fix something that may not even be your fault. But love is not supposed to feel like something you have to constantly figure out. A person who is serious about you understands that their actions affect your emotions. They don't play with your time or your feelings. They follow through on what they say. If they promise to be there, they are there. If they say they care, their behavior reflects that care in a consistent and reliable way. It's not about being perfect. It's about being dependable. Consistency also shows respect. It shows that they value you enough to be steady, not just when it's easy, but even when life gets busy or complicated. It shows that you are not an afterthought, not someone they come back to only when they feel like it, but someone they actively choose again and again. At the end of the day, real love is not confusing and it's not unpredictable. It's steady, it's reliable, and it's shown through actions that don't change depending on the circumstances or convenience. You should feel chosen, not like an option, and the difference changes everything about how a relationship feels. When someone truly values you, there is a sense of certainty in the way they treat you. You don't feel like you're competing for their attention or wondering where you rank in their priorities. Without having to ask, that you matter to them in a real and consistent way. Feeling like an option comes with a very different energy. It feels like you are only included when it's convenient, like you are there to fill a gap rather than hold a meaningful place in someone's life. They reach out when they are bored, when they need something, or when it suits their schedule. But when it comes to making real time for you, they hesitate or disappear. That kind of behavior slowly chips away at your self-worth because it makes you question why you're not being fully chosen. When a man chooses you, his actions make it obvious. He doesn't leave space for doubt or confusion about where you stand. He prioritizes you not just in words, but in how he manages his time, his energy, and his attention. He makes room for you in his life instead of trying to fit you in when everything else is done. You don't have to fight for a position in his world because he willingly gives you one. Being chosen also means being respected. It means your feelings are considered, your presence is appreciated, and your absence would be noticed. You are not someone he can pick up and put down whenever he feels like it. There is a level of care and intention in how he interacts with you that shows you are important, not temporary. A lot of people stay in situations where they are treated like an option because they are holding on to potential or hoping things will change. They tell themselves that maybe if they do more, give more, or wait a little longer, they will finally be chosen. But the truth is, when someone really wants you, you don't have to earn that position. It is given freely. You deserve a love where you feel secure in your place, where you are not constantly questioning if you are enough or if someone else will take your spot. Real love doesn't keep you on standby. It brings you forward and makes you a priority without hesitation or doubt. Mixed signals mean lack of real commitment, and it's one of the clearest ways a relationship can tell you it's not built on genuine love. When someone sends mixed messages, it creates confusion, doubt, and emotional fatigue because their words and actions are not aligned. One moment they are warm, attentive, and affectionate, and the next moment they pull away, ignore you, or act distant for no clay or reason. That inconsistency is exhausting, and it's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their inability or unwillingness to fully commit. A person who is serious about you does not need to manipulate your emotions or keep you guessing. They do not play games with your heart because they understand that love is not a test. Mixed signals often appear when someone is unsure about themselves, their feelings, or their priorities. Instead of being honest, they leave you in a state of limbo, hoping you will adjust, excuse their behavior, or wait for clarity that may never come. That is not love. That is avoidance and indecision. Commitment shows up through consistency, presence, and follow through. It shows up in actions that match words, in promises that are kept, and in an effort that doesn't disappear when life gets complicated. When someone truly cares about you, you don't have to decipher their intentions or question their sincerity because it is obvious in how they treat you every day. Mixed signals eliminate that clarity and make it impossible to feel secure in the relationship. Many people mistake the temporary highs, occasional affection, or sporadic attention as signs of love, but those moments are misleading. They create hope, but they do not build a foundation. Hope without reliability is unstable and can keep you tied to someone who isn't fully committed. Real commitment removes doubt. It removes the need to analyze texts, to question gestures, or to measure interest based on fleeting behavior. When commitment is present, it is steady and unmistakable. Understanding this distinction is crucial for your emotional well-being. If you find yourself constantly unsure, questioning his intentions, or feeling like you are on an emotional roller coaster, it's time to evaluate whether the relationship is truly reciprocal. Mixed signals are not a child. Stage for you to fight for it. They are a signal that the other person has not chosen to fully invest in you. Recognizing this allows you to set boundaries, protect your heart, and seek a relationship where love and commitment are clear, consistent,